honestly say I've never got up in the morning dreading coming to work.
We have the same job description as the Texas Rangers, and we almost always work alone.
Hello, I'm Mark Gwen, Director of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. As head of the state's primary criminal investigative agency, I firmly believe that government's first responsibility is the protection of its citizens. So come now with me on a virtual tour of the TBI and let us show you how the TBI keeps Tennesseans safe.
The DAs have to turn to TBI to solve the most difficult kind of cases there are in the state. It would be a big hardship on the district attorneys if we didn't have TBI agents.
The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation was established by the state legislature in 1951 after a sawmill operator in Greene County was murdered, his killer never found. Though the Bureau's role has evolved over the years, its core mission remains the same: to assist local law enforcement with the state's most complex criminal cases, everything from embezzlements to murders.
TBI was created to assist local law enforcement with crimes that were maybe just too difficult, or maybe they did not have the necessary resources to maybe work a crime scene or work that particular crime.
TBI agents recognize that each case is about more than the crime itself. It's about the victim, whose life has almost always been irreversibly altered.
When you're on a crime scene, you don't work for yourself right there. You don't work for the sheriff's department, the police department, TBI. You work for the victim's family. There's no greater satisfaction than being able to walk out of a courtroom and getting a hug from a family member when you brought justice, to give them some sort of justice.
Fire!
In order to become a sworn special agent, candidates must have a college degree, prior law enforcement experience, and a flawless record. Once hired, those new agents are then required to complete a 12-week criminal investigation school, where they'll learn what's expected of them and compete against each other to work a series of mock crime scenes.
This is what you see an agent will see in their career probably 3 or 4 times, especially in the rural areas.
It's a challenge, and that's the exciting part of it. There's never a dull moment out here, and it's just a matter of putting the pieces of the puzzle together.
Over the years, the TBI's role in Tennessee law enforcement has grown significantly. In addition to assisting local agencies, the TBI is responsible for compiling crime statistics for the entire state. Employees conduct nearly 50,000 background checks a year on everything from teachers to daycare workers. And just down the hall, another type of background check is being performed on citizens purchasing a firearm. The idea is to keep guns out of the hands of felons and wanted fugitives.
Well, TBI is a very complex organization. Everyone that comes in to tour our facility is constantly amazed at what they see. A relatively small law enforcement agency can do so much.
A host of high-profile projects such as TBI Most Wanted, the statewide sex offender registry, and Amber Alert are also run by the Bureau's Criminal Intelligence Unit.
All right, ma'am, we're going to activate an Amber Alert on this situation.
You can be sure that whenever road signs and the emergency alert system are activated, analysts in this unit are working around the clock.
Prior to the activation of our Amber Alert program in 2002, most of the children that went missing from stranger abductions were not located. Since we've started involving the public and all the media in our Amber Alert activations, we've gone to a 95% recovery rate. That's phenomenal.
Large-scale fugitive manhunts are another one of the Bureau's primary responsibilities. Some, like the Roane County Courthouse shooting and the Mary Winkler case, have garnered national media attention.
We get tips and leads into this unit. That's where the tips and leads come into at TBI, is into this unit. So we house all that information here and share it with the agents when it comes into us, or decide where it needs to be disseminated.
Whether it's a TBI case or not, the Bureau is involved in nearly every crime in the state. That's because the Bureau manages Tennessee's 3 forensic crime labs located in Knoxville, Nashville, and Memphis. At those labs, scientists conduct more than 250,000 tests per year on almost every piece of evidence collected statewide.
Well, we examine physical evidence that is sent in by law enforcement agencies or brought in by our crime scene teams, and we look at that physical evidence in an attempt to locate blood stains or other biological stains.
DNA analysis, facial reconstruction, ballistics, drug chemistry. Those are just a few of the sections found within the TBI crime lab system. Fascinating work, yet tedious.
It's a very time-consuming process, and unfortunately a lot of people don't realize that.
It isn't uncommon for scientists to spend more than a month on one criminal case. Though the job is often clinical, scientists are always striving to find that one missing link that will solve the mystery for investigators.
An adrenaline rush. It's sort of surreal at first. You go back, double look again, and then you get up and tell your colleagues, come look at this, and you all sort of share in the excitement.
Sometimes the evidence is invisible to the naked eye, a fluid stain or a latent fingerprint. Other times, something as simple as a tire cast can make the difference in solving a case. DNA supervisor Joe Miner says regardless of what these scientists see through the microscope, they're all looking for precisely the same thing, a suspect.
It's about working for the victims, being able to examine evidence and see if there's any way to link a potential suspect to a crime and get the case solved.
Whether it's a special investigation, an Amber Alert, or a background check that's being performed, the TBI motto is the same: that guilt shall not escape, nor innocence suffer.
Every employee at TBI is important, from the person that answers the phone to the agent in the field that investigates the most violent crime. Reason being, TBI many times is the last hope for true justice, and every employee plays a part in seeking that justice.
Please, let me see your hands! Get out of the car, out of the car!
More than 50 years after its inception, the TBI continues to evolve, with integrity being the #1 priority.
Because it is serious. We're dealing with lives here. We're dealing with victims, with families of victims, trying to give those people closure, which is really all that's left that they can get out of some of the worst crimes that we investigate. We're here to protect and serve the citizens of this state. We're here to make the people of this state feel safe. And that's what our mission and that's what our purpose is.